Hello, hello, and we are live from the Metatron channel. So let's wait for someone to appear, I suppose. 12 seconds in, 12 seconds in. Welcome to everybody who's watching this live from the Metatron channel. And there you go, you got the first 4 people. Welcome, noble ones. Welcome to the Metatron channel. 24 people have arrived. Hello, hello. Hello, NTF Unit Fox Not 6. Oh, gosh. Hi. Many people saying hello. Hello, noble ones. Hello. Welcome to everybody. Yeah, it's a lot of people saying hello. Hi. Welcome, everybody. So, yes, here we are for the monthly appointment, because it's going to be a monthly Q&A appointment from now on. And it's going to be, usually, I'd like to set it for the 15th of each month. It's just now it's on the 18th, because on the 15th I published a video about Exanima gameplay. If you haven't watched it, check it out, please, if you want to. Deus Vult, Salve. I see we've got people speaking Latin here, because Latin is not a dead language. And yes, let's see. So let's start reading some of the things. Let's see. Hi, Metatron, the man made of diluted pizza. Yes, the man made of diluted pizza and tomato sauce. I miss the long hair, says JT. I do sometimes as well. I've been considering letting it grow. I'm not sure if I would let it grow all the way back to where it was, because honestly it was really long. This hair now, it's a lot easier for Roman content, because if you remember when I was rocking long hair, I could never take a picture of me in Roman gear without the helmet on, because I needed to hide my hair. Now it's a lot easier to represent an ancient Roman, but the long hair was epic. So I don't know. Well, I'll see. I'll see what happens. If I really miss it, I'll get it back. If not, I'll just keep the Roman length. Let's see. Why will you have a video on the new For Honor hero? Yes, I still haven't had a chance. I didn't even patch my For Honor. So it's been a while since I played For Honor, to be honest. So yeah, I haven't played it. I don't know much about it, but yeah, why not? Yeah, For Honor is a good one. You know what I should do? I should make a new top 10 best For Honor heroes in real life, because that video went really well, and it should be updated, because the Vortiger wasn't there, the Samurai Sakura with the axe wasn't there, the new hero wasn't there. So yeah, definitely. Atakan says hello from Turkey. Hello, my friend. Istanbul, maybe? Metatron, I wish to ask you and your infinite knowledge. Well, it's not infinite, I'm going to show you, but yeah, what I know, I'll share. Love the Roman shield in the background. So do I, random guy. So do I. So yeah. Let's see. So Amir says, Ciao Raf, what about growing a long beard? No. No, I'm not gonna. I mean, this is probably the maximum length of beard that I'm considering, and then I'll just trim it and keep it either slightly shorter, or for me, my favorite length is 5 millimeters. So yeah, something like this is probably the top for me. Also because, I mean, my girlfriend likes my beard, but she doesn't like it too long. But she doesn't like me clean shaven either, so yeah, beard is staying. Let's see. Question. So we've got a question from Potato Samurai, and he says, I have a question about the masks of samurai. Okay, yes, the Mempo. If they didn't use them in battle, when did they? Well, yeah, we don't really know. I mean, if we look at iconography, it seems like they didn't use it in battle. It could be that they were just part of the full set from a ceremonial point of view, from a parade point of view. Maybe they wore it when they were just showing off how cool and rich they were. Although, you know, it could be that they used it sometimes. We don't really know. I've heard someone saying at once that they were using it at night for some reasons. So anyways, we don't really know much, but if we look at iconography, it doesn't really seem like they did use them. So probably they didn't use them. Metatron, do you have a ragazza? Yes, I have a girlfriend. So, what do you think about Kingdom Come Deliverance? Well, Kingdom Come Deliverance, I made quite a lot of videos on Kingdom Come Deliverance, and it's a good game, but you see, I know it's going to sound strange, although, in the community of the sword, we've been speaking about realistic combat, and we always complain about games that don't portray combat in a realistic way. And yes, Kingdom Come Deliverance is exactly trying to do that. Still, the combat system, there is something wrong with the combat system in Kingdom Come Deliverance. It's clunky. So it's a fun game. I played it. I enjoyed it. I like the graphics. I like the ambient, and the buildings are perfect. The clothing is not, and I've got a video on that if you want to check it out. But the weapons look okay. The armor looks pretty good. But the combat system, for some reason, maybe it's a bit too realistic. I don't know. But yeah. Do you speak Ukrainian Metatron? I do not. Sorry, but I don't. So, Vosper says, suddenly the urge to have pizza while watching strikes. Oh yeah, let me tell you, I've eaten my dinner today, no, my lunch today was over 200 grams of pasta, spaghetti. I ate so much spaghetti, I don't want to see spaghetti for at least 3 hours. Anyways, I love the beard. Okay, yeah, there you go. My girlfriend just said that she loves the beard. Of course she does. Thank you. I know that. Um, let's see. We've got Que Ubo, Lord Metatron. So apparently that's Venezuelan for what's up. Not much. I'm just wearing my mail because why not? Why not wearing armor when you can? Why not? Saluti anche da Piazza Armerina. Ciao Raf. Ciao. We got someone from Piazza Armerina in Sicily. That's great. That is great. Will you make another video for Assassin's Creed? Let me tell you about Assassin's Creed. I've got like a video on Assassin's Creed Odyssey in the making. It's been in the making forever, to be honest. I mean, since the game came out. So that tells you something. So yes, I've got a video in the making. It's taking forever. But I will get it. I will get it done. At the moment, I've got another video in production, which will be released either on the 20th or on the 21st, depending how long it takes me to edit it. But after that, we'll see. But definitely an Assassin's Creed video will appear. Definitely. Let's see. What are your thoughts about Charlemagne? A fascinating political individual, very, very interesting really very interesting historical era as well. We should start covering a bit more late antiquity on the channel. Absolutely, yeah. The Dark Ages, quotes and quotes. Okay, who is your favorite Roman emperor and why? It's Octavianus Augustus, because he's the first. So princeps and all, it's really, really cool. Let's see, do you speak Spanish? A little bit. I don't speak it very well, but Italian and Spanish are quite close. So yeah, there is that. Someone asks me if the American Dream asks me if I love France. I suppose so. I like France. I mean, I've never been though. So, your Japanese pitch accent is good? Question mark. I think so. I think my Japanese accent is pretty good. Maybe it's not perfect, but yeah. I mean, I did live in Japan for 4 years. So it did give me time to tune in a little bit with them. So yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah, B. Vargas says Metatron did a video comparing Spanish with Italian ones. Yes, I did. Exactly. Yo, says Giassi Ballon Fencer. Yo to you, my friend. Yo to you. Okay, so let's see. I tend to be a little slow at catching up. Let me see. There you go. So all chat available. There you go. Hi Metatron, why do some Greek shields have notches on the side? What do they do? What do you mean notches? Like, how do you mean? Plus, I'm not an expert on Greek shields, to be honest, so probably I wouldn't know. Notches, not sure what notches are. See if you can explain, if you can elaborate a little bit on that. That would be good. Let's see. Something more. Let me have a look. Okay, so we've got another question from our Mr. K. He says, would a native Italian speaker have a good understanding of Latin? I'm going to say that a native Italian speaker, maybe it's easier for an Italian to learn Latin, maybe even easier if you're from Sardinia, I suppose. But no, if you don't study Latin, what happens is that occasionally you understand it because the words sound similar, but other times you just understand nothing because it changed too much. So it depends. It depends. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. That's how it is. It really, really depends on. It is like listening to a foreign language, really. So there is that. So there is that. Hi from Brazil, says Gabriel. Hello to you. Hello to you. Okay, so we got a question from someone I can't pronounce. Hey, Metatron was in Firenze and Venezia. I think you meant Venezia. And fell in love. What other cities you like and would recommend? Roma, of course, the capital, the eternal city. Palermo, actually, my town, is pretty good. Naples is nice as well if you want to try pizza. And yeah, I think these are the cities I would recommend. Probably. Buonasera, Nikim Crow. Buonasera to you. Buonasera. I just realized you were wearing mail. Yes, I'm wearing my Lorica Hamada. Because why not? Because why not? It's always fun. Oh, here's another thing. When I had long hair, wearing mail was a nightmare. Literally. With short hair, no problem. With long hair, it's like, oh gosh. Like I had to come up with this whole system of pinning it down and then wearing a beanie on top, which I still do occasionally, and then put the mail, but then it would move and then some of it would come out and then it got stuck in the mail. Oh, goodness gracious, literally. So there's this. Let's see. People asking about Japanese underwear video. I gotta make that video. I really have to make that video just so that these messages. Yeah, I'll do that. Maybe I'll just make a video about ancient Japanese underwear in general and cover female Japanese underwear, I suppose. Hi from Czech Republic. Hello to you. I know how to say ice cream, I think, in Czech. Zmrzlina, I think is zmrzlina. Lots of consonants. Yeah, I visited Czech Republic. I've got a video about it. Prague is amazing. Howdy, Asa Warren. Howdy. Greetings, noble ones. Greetings to you. Hello from Florida. Oh, gosh, noble ones everywhere. We are an army. We're invading the world. How is the Imperator asks, how's the Italian letter R meant to be pronounced when found at the beginning of words? It depends. In standard Italian, you just roll it, but not too much. So you pronounce it like a r. So for example, you say Roma, ragno, radio, rosso. Okay? So I don't exaggerate it. I don't go like rosso. It's too much. When it's double R, you make it stronger. So in an excellent word that is perfect example of single R and double R pronunciation in Italian is the word Ferrari. Because you first have two R's, ferra, and then ri is shorter. So I don't say Ferrari, no, I say Ferrari, okay? So there is that. And I said in standard Italian because actually down in Sicily we tend to pronounce the R at the beginning of words stronger as well. It's an accent thing. But in standard it's just a single, r, not too much. Metatron, this is the first time I watch your stream. Well, thank you so much, Philip. Welcome. And we've got 200 people and 65 likes. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Hi from Canada. There you go. Have you read Samurai William? No, I haven't. Should I? Oh, by the way, let me show you and on this live stream a little bit of steel, because why not? A little bit of steel. This is, as you know, the kettle hat and this is the lining. Someone was asking about the inside of this helmet on my Instagram, so there you go. It's very nice. It is very, very nice. And I am getting some new armor in 6 weeks, by the way. You'll see. I won't spoiler, but yeah, there's new armor coming in 6 weeks from now, and new medieval clothing, part of my soft kit, coming tomorrow. So possibly, make a video about it soon. Czech Republic arguably has the best beer in Europe. Maybe, but if you ask me, I think best beer and best chocolate in Europe is in Belgium. Like I had a roommate from Belgium when I was at university, and gosh, this guy would bring the best chocolate I have ever experienced in my life. And let me tell you, Italian chocolate is really good. And I've been to Switzerland 7 times. So I've tried all sorts of Swiss chocolate as well, which is excellent, but Belgian chocolate takes the cake quite literally. So there's that. Yes, Zmrzlinas, I got it right. Great. Yeah, Czech Republic is fantastic. I really like Czech Republic. Let's see. The Historian's Craft. Hello, my friend. Welcome. He's a YouTuber, by the way. He's got a channel, so check it out. It's called The Historian's Craft. He actually made a response video to me, and yes, I commented it, so you can check it out. It's about the crossbowmen and archers video. He says, hey, thanks again for responding to my video. How did you develop an interest in history? It's been there since I was a teenager because I was always obsessed with armor. Always obsessed with armor. So, and I think it really developed, it went further on in the development process through role-playing games, because we used to play D&D, and, was always wearing plate and mail and blah and blah. Of course, plate mail, chain mail and all the wrong terminology, but still, it got me into it. It got me into it very much. And I started reading fantasy novels, and I started playing video games that features elves and swords and knights. And that's when I got into it. And then when I became a university student, although I was studying languages, and that's what I have a degree in, still my language degree is a comparative cultural degree, and therefore I had a lot of credits that I could spend on history, and therefore I mostly spent it in Roman history and medieval history. My medieval history teacher, that was ridiculous. She was very good. During the exam at university on medieval history exam, 8 credits, during the exam at one point, she asked me, okay, so tell me about the Knight Crusaders. Boom! Like that's when like I started speaking like crazy, telling her all these little fun facts and stuff that I had studied, and then she just stopped me and she's like, all right, never mind, top marks, you can go. That was great. That was such a imagine that. Imagine asking me to talk about knights. That was so funny. So yeah, I think that's that. Asmoth asks, do you think fascism will rule Italy again in the future? I don't think so, and I certainly hope not. I mean, I'm not a communist at all, but I don't like any form of dictatorship. Doesn't matter the colors or the flags, to be honest. So we've got Peter says it's also his first time for a live stream on the Metatron channel. Well, thank you so much and welcome. Welcome to everybody. We've got 216 people. And I hope you find this interesting. Let's see. Hello from Ireland. Love your channel, says Sealstorm193. First link to a live stream of yours. Well, welcome back. Welcome from Ireland. Very nice. I have a friend from Ireland. His name is O'Kelly. And we used to share a flat in England. And he had a very thick Irish accent. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. I love the Irish accent. It's fun. I actually find it interesting how Irish and Americans share the not the rolling, but the rhotic pronunciation of the R, whereas, in England, you don't really pronounce the R, it's an R. Like, for me, it's an R, like in car. But yeah, he would say, like, car, like the Americans do. And I thought it was interesting that you both share that linguistic trait of a rhotic accent rather than a non-rhotic. So we've got a question from Vitale Picascia in Italian. He says, "Che impressione hai avuto del Tennessee?" Which means, what did you think? What's your impression? What did you think of Tennessee? I loved Tennessee, and I am moving to Tennessee in 2020. And by the way, I've got a super chat. So let me see if I can. By the way, super chat donors, I apologize profusely. I am so slow at finding your chat. So sorry, but I will. Okay, I will acknowledge your donations, of course. I'm very, very grateful for it. We've got $7 from Sharakor. Shroud Dragon. We've got $7 from a dragon. Guys, it's great. Didn't even have to battle him. What did civilians carry for self-defense in Japan, since only samurai could carry swords? Yes, they didn't carry anything. In fact, for civilian self-defense, or at least it really depends on what era you're talking about, really. It really depends on what era you're talking about, because laws change a lot. You don't have like one single law throughout the entire time. But if you look at the traditional Okinawa combat styles, it will answer your question, because you will see lots of different improvised weapons. So like basically like tonfa or sai, lots of different improvised tools that become weapons in case you need to defend yourself, and in case you need to defend yourself against a samurai who's taking advantage of his superior weapon, because that's important to consider. Oftentimes now, a lot of people speak poorly about the katana now, because, they say it's not a main battlefield weapon. I'd like to underline, it's true, it's not a main battlefield weapon, but it's still a battlefield weapon. It was a backup weapon, but it was carried on the battlefield. Anyways, it's not a main battlefield weapon. Spears are better, and it's absolutely true. But a katana is still an excellent weapon to carry around in town for personal defense, and it was a dream weapon for peasants and regular civilians. So if a samurai just decided he wanted to kill you and you had to defend yourself, and he was wielding a katana and he was trained and you had to improvise with tools, it was a nightmare. So the katana would be the superior weapon, because again, you're not on the battlefield, no armor is involved. So it's a very tough weapon to deal with if you're not wearing armor and you're not using other better and more specialized battlefield weapons. So when we see Okinawa, Kobudo weapons like tonfa again and sai and many others, it's not that these people chose these weapons because they have advantages and disadvantages, so you choose them like in a balanced video game situation. No, they are inferior weapons because they are not weapons. They are improvised, but they trained because it's what they had. And to a good extent, they could use them effectively, I suppose, if you find one of those masters against maybe an average skilled samurai, So yeah, I hope that answers your question, and thank you very much for your donation. I will probably, I can already tell you that those $7 are going towards my full plate armor, because I've ordered the torso armor and the fold, and at the moment I could cover that with the donation of the crowdfunding. I could not cover the arms, so there you go, $7 towards the full plate arms of the late 15th century suit of armor. Thank you so much. So we've got another question. How come, that's a very good question from Veronica Gray. Thank you so much, Veronica. How come soldiers from the antiquity rarely wore much articulated leg armor other than greaves, if articulated torso armor was a thing? Also, hey to you. Well, you see, articulation is a specific technological choice, and actually I'm talking about it on the video, specifically about this, on the video that I will release on the 20th or 21st, but I'd like to say something about it. So it's true that Lorica segmentata, the one I got behind, is articulated, is segmented, and that's a choice. The Romans could make single plate. We know that because they made musculata. And greaves, I'm going to say single plate, a single solid plate is better than articulation in this case. However, this is a specific choice. And in my opinion, this is just my opinion, But I think they chose to do this for two reasons. Reason number one, it's less expensive to produce than a single sheet of anatomical armor. Secondly, this is excellent for mass production, because what you got to do with this, if you are a smith and you need to produce armor for an army, so we're talking about thousands of individuals, you just make loads of big size, loads of medium size girth hoops, lots of small sides. You make loads of these. Then the soldier comes to you and you start, fitting it. So you've already have all the sizes. So you just go for like, okay, so go to medium, go small, there you go, done. You're a bit bigger, so let's use a big one. It's an excellent way to supply and mass produce while still tailoring an entire army of soldiers. So with the greaves, going back to the greaves, I think, the greaves are easier. They weren't used very much. Some centurions used them, gladiators used them, of course. Regular soldiers, we believe mostly their defense came from the scutum, for the legs. But depending on what era you're talking about, early Republican, yes, they did use greaves. They did, sometimes single greave, sometimes both. But again, there is no reason to make an articulated greave like that, because a greave is not as complicated to produce as tailoring an entire torso armor, and solid plate is better than articulated plate in terms of defensive capabilities. I hope that answered your question. But more on that on the video. Then I've got a dedicated video on armor origins and certain specific choices. What do you think about the show Spartacus? It's soft porn. That's what it is. From a historical point of view, the weapons are wrong, the armor is wrong, the combat is wrong, the clothing is wrong, almost everything is wrong, even the way they pronounce places is mostly wrong. But it was fun and I watched the entire thing, I'd like to say. Fantastic actor. It's a shame what happened to him because he actually died. Very, very good actor. But apart from that, it's worth watching, I suppose. It's fun. But yeah, that's what it is. It is what it is. It is what it is. We need to recognize what it is. Why Romans didn't create full plate armor? It's so interesting, guys. This is exactly the topic of my next video. So since it's a fully scripted video, it took me forever to research it, and I think I worded it really well with lots of different examples. I will answer that question on the video. So again, stay tuned. 20th and 21st, or the 21st, the video will be released, and you will have all these answers. Plate armor in ancient times. Absolutely. It's basically, the video is going to be, it's going to answer the question, when was plate armor really created? When did it originate and who made it? That's the video. Metatron Imperator, we've got lots of emperors here. Imperator Glaber says, Metatron, you're the man. Thank you so much. How come the pike phalanxes, well, not really pike is a medieval thing, a lot longer, Dori, the Greek Dori, of the Macedonians were so easily beaten by the Romans? I do have a video on that. To be honest, there is a lot that goes into the Romans beating the Greeks. It's not just a matter of it's not just a matter of how they fight, because a lot of people focus on that, including myself a few years ago. It's not just a matter of how they fight and how maneuverable it is and the terrain. All of these things are also part of it. Okay, so Roman manipules were more have better maneuverability than the phalanx formation, particularly on the specific terrain where they fought. But it's not just that. There is a lot of economy behind it. There is a lot of, I don't know if the Romans had to fight the Greek city-states in the zenith of their power and success, who knows? But when they fought, they weren't how they were, if you will. So there's that. Spornicus. Yeah, I know. That Spartacus, to be honest, I mean, sometimes it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. It was like fight, sex, talk, fight, sex, talk, sex, fight, naked, titties, walking a little bit, traveling, bullying of the Gauls, sex again. It's, mamma mia. So, Volkisk Warrior says, Raffaello, why did the Romans give Jesus vinegar to drink? I did address this quite a few times on the channel. My opinion is that, well, the Romans drank posca, and posca is water with vinegar. So basically they drank it. And this explains why when we read the Gospels, they say that there was a vase, a jar full of vinegar near the area where Yeshua, Jesus was crucified. Because, I mean, it figures, Romans, legionaries, there is a legion there is a vase with vinegar, of course there is, that's what they drink. So when he says he's thirsty, according to the Gospels, if we have to believe the Gospels, when Jesus says he's thirsty and the Roman gives him a sponge soaked with vinegar to quench his thirst, usually I've seen a lot of preachers considering that as once again a suffering that Jesus had to go through, but I don't think it was mocking him. If you look at it from the perspective of the Roman soldier who was just giving Jesus his drink, to be honest. So, of course, if we now in 2019, imagine, I'm thirsty and they give me vinegar, that's disgusting, so they are mocking me. So they're mocking him. And that's because we are used to drink Coke and Fanta, so sweetened drinks. That's not how things were 2,000 years ago. So, he just gave him a refreshing drink. This is how I imagine it. I imagine Roman soldiers speaking Latin to themselves. The man on the cross, he's thirsty, he's dying, and probably they're saying, he's thirsty, give him some water. And probably the other soldier said, don't give him water, just give him some posca to the man. At least give him some vinegar. And by the way, I made posca. It's quite good. It's refreshing. It's a refreshing drink if you don't put too much vinegar. Unfortunately, we don't know how the percentage of vinegar they used, so you can just make it to your own likings. Okay, let me go further down a little bit because I'm sure I'm reading in the past. So the Gaming Master asks, what do you think is the best legionary armor sets? For ancient Roman times, my favorite is Lorica Segmentata, back there. I think that's the best. Although it did fall out of use, and then this came back again, and this really never stopped being used. This is the most typical Roman armor, rather than that. But I think that's best. The reason why it fell out of use, I think, is purely economical. But yeah. John Burleson, you're an awesome historian. You've taught me a legion of good stuff. Well, I'm glad. I wouldn't really consider myself to be an historian. I'm more of a history enthusiast. But yeah. Veronica Gray says again, Romans didn't dislike Jesus. Even Pontius Pilate washed his hands. Yeah, exactly. When the Jewish templemen wanted to crucify him. Yeah, I agree. Although there is one thing that sometimes makes me think, because I agree. I think Pontius Pilate did not want him dead. He just did it because the Jewish wanted him dead. However, so probably to the Romans, he was just, a foreign man preaching strange stuff. That's probably the perspective of the Romans, how they saw Jesus. What's interesting is that still, when you watch films on the Bible and Jesus, and then you see Judas, goes to him with 2 Roman legionaries, usually 2 or 3 Roman soldiers, and then he kisses him on the cheek, famous scene, and then they arrest Jesus. Well, actually, if you read the Gospels in Greek, so without the translation, it does tell us how many men were sent, and it's 600. 600 men to take a leader of a pacifist movement. It's very strange. It's interesting. But so I think they didn't dislike him, but maybe, maybe he did have quite a lot of political sway. I'll tell you. Anyways. Let's see. Every time I see a video of yours, I remember the horse video where you make the horse noise. Yeah. Yeah, that was a funny one. That was really funny. Anyways, let's see. And we've got another donation from Deef. We've got five, I think that's Canadian dollars. Thank you so much, my friend. And he asks, have you ever considered crowdfunding a medieval fantasy movie alongside Shad, Skull, Lindbergh, and Skull? Yeah, that would be fantastic, but I don't know if we should make it fantasy. I mean, yes, Shadiversity is very much into fantasy. I'm going to say within the community of the sword, he's the most fantasy-oriented channel. I do talk fantasy a little bit as well, but um, I mean, Scholar Gladiatoria doesn't really deal with fantasy that much, occasionally. I don't know. Maybe there are better things that we could crowdfund. Not sure. For Honor gameplay, new hero opinions. Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, definitely. I mean, so far, all my For Honor videos have got a lot of views, exception being the Sakura one, which really kind of puzzled me because, I mean, you know, a samurai woman with a shaved head, or at least I don't think she's samurai, but she's part of the samurai faction in the game anyways. So a samurai woman with a shaved head and who wields a ono, so a Japanese axe. I made a video about it because I thought it could have been very interesting because I spoke a lot about the Japanese, both the concept of the Yamabushi, so the mountain monks, and the concept of axes wielded by samurai in feudal Japan. But for some reason, that video did not go well at all. So anyways, that's not going to stop me from making For Honor videos. I will. But I don't know. I don't know why that video did not go very well. Whereas, you know, I've got like For Honor videos with like over 500,000 views. So sometimes it's really weird. I don't know what makes it. And again, a donation from, I can't read your name, my friend, but you just donated 20 RUB. Thank you so much for your donation. I very much appreciate. And again, another small step towards my full plate, late 15th century Northern Italian style armor. Thank you so much. Okay, so we've got a question from Volkish Warrior. No, it's not really a question. It's in French, and he says, Metatron, nous voulons des vidéos en français et une vidéo sur la bataille d'Alésia. I know you want the videos in French and you want a video on the Battle of Alesia. The reason why I didn't make a video on the Battle of Alesia is because, again, I did make a lot of videos on battles, which they did fairly well, but not exceptionally well. So the videos on specific battles at the moment, they are a little low on the publishing list priority. So it doesn't mean that I'm not going to make it. I will, but if there are videos that I think are going to do a lot better, like for example, I made a video last month. I made a video, as you probably know, on the Roman caligae, the Roman shoes, and it got me like 120,000 views. Now that's a video that is going to sprout a series. That's how I manage my channel. I see many, and that's a little tip I'd like to give to small YouTubers who don't seem to be able to grow. And if you see that that's what's happening, one thing that I noticed is that sometimes there are YouTubers that have got like 400 videos and they don't even have 1,000 subscribers, which is a shame, of course, considering the amount of work and effort that they've put. But you need, when you make YouTube and you want to make it into a career, or you want your channel to be successful, it shouldn't be just what video do I want to make, but it should also be what video could go well. So sure, if you have an idea, try. But I've seen people doing like a 50 episode series, which has like 13 views per video. Mate, if your first 3 videos get 12 views, stop it. You gotta cancel it because it's self-destruction from the perspective of the algorithm. So for me, at the moment, if I make a video and I want to make it into a series, but it caps at 20k views, I cancel the series. If it gets to 30, 35k, I make episode 2 and then we'll see. If it goes beyond 50k, it's a definite series. That's just how I do it. And it's been serving me well so far. I mean, I can't complain about my channel at all. Question from Sick. Where could I buy a good quality longsword? Well, Albion sells very good swords, also very expensive. They're machine made. Otherwise, Elgar Swordsmakery is where I buy my swords. Elgar is spelled Elgur, Elgur. Elgar Swordsmakery, very good sword maker. He still makes it anvil and hammer. Proper old style, very, very good. Okay, Alvaro Tolentino asks a language question and he says, which one from modern Romance languages do you think is the easiest to understand? And to answer this question, I'm going to say it depends what your first language is, because if you're Russian or if you're Japanese or if you, whatever, it doesn't really matter. They're all going to be very similar in terms of difficulty. If you are Spanish, I'm going to say Italian and vice versa. If you're Italian, I'm going to say Spanish. So again, it really depends on what your first language is. If you're English, maybe French. Probably French, if you're English. Although again, you know, all of you who speak English as a first language, you probably just don't, often you just don't realize how close my language, Italian, and yours are. Because if I say, how are you? Okay, and you answer, I'm well, or I'm good, if you're American, right? And in Italian, if you ask me come stai, how are you? I'm going to say bene, bene. So bene means good. And you think, well, you see, good and bene have nothing in common. And it's true, because good is a Germanic rooted word and bene is a Latin rooted word. And yet you have words such as beneficial, benediction. So you have the word and it has a similar meaning. It's like, you know, in English you say hand, and in Italian we say mano. So again, you say, well, it's nothing to do with it, but you have manufacturer. So someone who creates with his hands. So lots of words in Italian are very similar to English if you really understand the roots of both your language and mine. So there's that. And I could give you a million more examples on that, like literally a million. But let's leave it to that. Okay, question from Epic Gamer 420. How have you learned Latin? Well, I've studied it at school and then I continued studying it on my own. I still have a lot to learn. And have you learned any other dead or ancient languages? Yes, I have. At university I studied Egyptian, I studied Biblical Hebrew and Biblical translation, and I also taken a class of Sanskrit, of which I remember zero. I just remember how to pronounce the name of one of the, I think it's probably Bodhisattva or something like that, whose name is Avalokiteshvara. It's the only thing I can remember of that class. Sorry if the professor is watching. I don't think he is. Okay. Let me go further down for the newest. Well, I was really lots of questions. Thank you so much. So you should also make more videos about linguistics, says avant-garde student. I find that more interesting than videos about which sword is better. I understand, but unfortunately, again, it doesn't only depend on me. I tried bringing back language videos 2 months ago, but the video I made, which was how to learn multiple languages simultaneously, again, did not go well. So I am considering trying once more to make a language video on my channel, maybe something which has to do with an ancient language. But if it doesn't go well, what I'm going to do, because again, I understand that you don't find the specific video on which sword is better interesting, but for me, it makes a lot of views. And I know it's not all about views, but views are important. Views are also important because now I significantly reduce the amount of teaching I do so that I have more time to make videos, which also means that now my main source of income is the channel. So if the videos don't get views, I can't pay bills. So there's that. So at the moment, the channel is mostly focused on history, battle, armor, and weapons. The linguistic content is relegated to the occasional video, but I am considering on making specific language content and tutorials on Patreon. And they will be accessible for $1 a month. So I'll make it the cheapest possible, so a price that literally anyone can afford. And then I will have linguistic videos there so that the minority, because unfortunately it's a minority of noble ones, the small percentage of noble ones who really liked the linguistic videos can still watch it, and in the meantime you can also support the channel, and so it's a little bit of a win-win situation, I suppose. And also, as far as language lessons are concerned, on the, you know how on Patreon there are several tiers. Well, on my highest tier donors on Patreon, they get a Skype 1 hour private lesson each month. So there's that as well. And you can ask me to teach you whatever you want. You can ask me to teach you Japanese, Italian. I had like one really cool noble one, an Italian noble one, who did that. He paid for the paid. He supported me for the Patreon thing for 2 months, the top tier, and then which is called Archangel tier, by the way. I've got like Roman Knight. It's all organized like that, Patreon. And he did that, and we spoke, and he just wanted tips for video making because he has got his own platform. So I did that, and then we just talked. We just spoke, and I gave him. He showed me what he was making, and that was that. So there is that also as an option for those of you who are interested in the language part. Federico Mercadante, will you explore the Arabic world? I mean, the Ottoman Empire with Jannizzeri or their famous artillery. It would be very interesting. We'll see. Yeah, why not? I could give it a try. Maybe I'll have a look at the Google search engine, see how many people are searching for stuff like that, and then we'll see. Can you make a video about the naginata? Yes, I can, absolutely. Maybe I should first make a video about the yari though, because I own a yari while I don't own a naginata. It would be cool to own a naginata, to be honest. I got another donation here, another super chat. Let's see if I can. Thank you so much for being so generous today. And 40 RUB from Agat882. Thank you so much. Gratias tibiago in Latin. Hi, how Yumi compares to English longbow? That is such a massive question, my friend. It's actually a very good question. And I'll tell you what, I'll make it into a video. I should jot it down. I'll make it into a video because it's a big topic, and also I need help from another content creator who's more knowledgeable on bows than I am, namely Matt Easton. So I think that could be a very good collaboration video with Matt Easton. So I'll tell him now. He's busy with Fight Camp, but I'll see if I can answer your question with an actual video, my friend. So again, thank you for your generosity. I really appreciate it. And we've got $10 from Depressed Cyborg. Depressed Cyborg. Gosh, the names. And I've got something to tell you about names, by the way. Just bear with me. So he's got a question. Let me read the question very quickly. How would you design a sword-like weapon, cut, thrust, cross-hilt, over 1 meter in overall length, to be affordable enough for the average 13th, 14th century foot soldier to use? Well, a sword-like weapon, you mean? Well, maybe it should be something similar to the Japanese naginata, which I think we did have something similar anyways in Europe. To be honest, in Europe, I think we have experimented with every possible shape. I don't think there is much you can really come up with. Maybe I would make some sort of polearm, which can both cut and, so similar to halberd, but with some hand protection, maybe some wings. That could be interesting, something like that. At the end of the day, polearms are not particularly expensive. Swords are the expensive ones. And usually they're expensive because they're full of decorations, and also because, I mean, it's more difficult to make. Anything that requires more metal and requires longer metal, elongated metal, will be more expensive. So there's that. Pole weapons are rather cheap, hence their popularity. So it would probably be some sort of modified pole weapon, I would imagine. Okay. So, are you Peruvian? No, I'm Italian. Big fan, says Monkey Doki. Thank you so much. Thank you. The Gaming Master. Why didn't the Romans just make something like the Dendra? Gosh, guys, you are literally reading my mind. I've got a full section on my next video dedicated to the Dendra. So yes, guys, just on the 20th, just don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere, don't schedule anything, just be home, boom, and you'll get all your answers, because that video went really in depth into that. The Dendra panoply, fascinating armor, absolutely. So I also say why I don't think I think they didn't. $5 from Therium. Therium. As an Anglophone, Romance and Scandinavian languages are easy in my opinion. Japanese tutorials on Patreon would be really awesome, however. Yeah, definitely. Japanese tutorials on Patreon. Yeah. I will be making those. And of course, I'll announce it. When one is ready, when one is posted, I will announce it. And again, one thing that I really want to do with the tutorials is to keep them as cheap as possible. Because I like the idea of free education. I like the idea of free education, or super cheap education anyways. And I remember, like, once I was talking about this and I was saying, you know, how I think it is the policy of my channel that I will never, on the channel, I'll never put anything behind a paywall. Patreon is a different thing. The videos and the special content and the pictures that the polls and everything that I put on Patreon, they are not YouTube content that is being put behind a paywall. They are a specific way for me to thank the people who are supporting me and giving me their hard-worked money. So it's a separate thing. Okay, those are things that wouldn't happen on the channel anyways, also because on Patreon I don't really care about the algorithm, I don't care about the views, it's just for the people who support me there. So again, on the channel, as a policy of the Metatron channel, I said it many times and I will never change this, I will never put a video behind a paywall. All videos will always be available to anyone who has got enough money to have a internet connection. And I remember that I was saying this, and then some people said in the comments, I'm talking like a couple of years ago anyways, and some people said, yeah, but it's not like we can use what we learned from you for our exams at university. And they were saying like, it's not like we can say we learned it on YouTube. But actually, I don't really say it much on the channel because I don't want to come out as, I don't know, arrogant, but I am a professional teacher. I mean, I did say it a few times. So when I say it's my opinion, then no, don't use that with a professor, because, you know, it's just an opinion. But the things I teach, like in terms of languages and linguistics or some of the history, I do it professionally. Like I teach in schools. I teach for the European University Fund, for the European Fund of University and Research. So yeah, you can use some of the things I teach. Definitely, absolutely. And I'm an examiner as well, by the way. People do international exams with me. So there is that. Let's see. Pizza. People mentioning pizza and pasta. Yes, pizza is awesome. Pizza is fantastic. Let me see if I've missed some other. Yeah, I've missed some more super chat. You've been very generous. I appreciate. Jimmy Brassard. $5 Canadian. My kid will love you to say. Okay, I'll say it then. Let me see. Bonjour, Jimmy et Jérémy. Bonjour. Bonjour. Bonjour, Jimmy and Jérémy. Jimmy and Jeremy, thank you for watching. Comment ça va? Ça va bien? Bon. So, another $5. Thank you so much, guys. This is really helping also because, apart from the fact that this money is going for the full plate armor, but generally speaking, my graphic card for my desktop died on me, just fused. It's dead. I can't afford a bigger one at the moment because I'm saving up money for the move to America, because I'm gonna move to Tennessee in 2020, and I'm trying to save up as much money as I can. Because it's going to cost me for a lot of money. The reason why I'm moving there is because I'm going to share a flat, share a house, probably buy a house with my girlfriend eventually. But at first we'll just rent a place and we'll live together. She's American, that's why. And so I'm organizing everything. It's going to be a big change in my life and everything. And so now I cannot afford a graphic card. So at the moment, no PC gaming. I mean, I've been using my laptop, but it's kind of funny because I have to play at like super low setting. So I appreciate it because it's difficult to find money now to buy armor and stuff. So I really appreciate all your help. So we've got a A question: can you make a video about polearm, spear, sword, and shield versus each other with armor? Information, of course. I really want to know which is stronger. Yeah. That could be interesting. Absolutely, absolutely. That's a good point. It's a good idea. And we've got another donation from Twitch.tv. Moist. I'll get you. I saw your donation, friend. Let me answer to this, and then I'll answer yours. Yeah, and I think a good way to maybe make a video like that would be to use these things. So to start fighting and then discussing. Lindy Beige talked about it. Scholar Gladiatoria did as well. So if you want to start checking those out. And so there's that. Okay, thoughts on Minecraft. I'm not a big fan of Minecraft, I'm afraid. I hope this doesn't upset you. I just can't play that game. It's just it's not up my street or up my alley, like you say in America. So there's that. Sorry, but no Minecraft for me. 1 second, because I gotta reactivate the chat. There you go. I'm a little slow, but I see you're very patient. I appreciate it. CIA versus FBI, who do you think is sexier? I think FBI is sexier. So here's the answer to your question. Probably because of all the American movies I've seen about it. What are your thoughts on the USA so far? I love the United States of America, and I'm very happy to move there and to live there. I really liked it. Oh, I went to a shooting range, by the way. I went to a shooting range with my girlfriend's father, and I tried 4 different guns. Well, actually 3 guns and a pistol. So a revolver. One was a revolver and the others were semi-automatic. 22 caliber and bigger calibers as well. And I did pretty well. For my first time to shoot, I did pretty well. Not only I got the target, but I got it in the split middle. I also got a few headshots as well. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun. And I wanted to make a video about it. I was going to film, and then I thought to myself, maybe not, because because you know how YouTube is, and they demonetize everything. They demonetized a historical video of mine, which is about the Second World War. It's like a 25-minute video, so it took me a long time to make it. It's a video about Second World War. They demonetized it because I used the word Nazi. Like, you gotta be kidding me. I'm talking about Second World War and I can't even say Nazi, you demonetize me. So, if I show guns on my channel, I would risk it. And I thought, maybe not. Maybe I'll upload it on, I don't know how Patreon is with these things. So maybe I might want to email them first. If not, I'll just post something on Facebook next time I shoot, if you're curious. I enjoyed it though. It was a lot of fun. A question, Raf, per quale squadra tifi? So which football team do I support? Palermo, and when I was a kid, I used to like AC Milan, which I still sympathize for. So Soup Campbell says the USA might have strict gun control in the future, so I've heard. Yeah, I heard they're trying to do that. I doubt they can. It's the Second Amendment and stuff, but it's in the Constitution, I believe. I don't think they can change that. Plus, a lot of people are gonna get mad if they try and take their guns from them. It's not gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. Anyways, so a donation, €2 from Benjamin. Thank you so much for your donation. Hi Metatron, Murder Stroke versus Mace, etc. comparison. Yeah, Mace. Definitely Mace. The only reason why the Murder Stroke exists is because you have a sword and you don't have a mace. Okay, that's why the Murder Stroke exists. It's like, gosh, I've got a sword, my opponent is in armor, I don't have my mace, let's use a Murder Stroke. But if you've got your sword and you have a mace on your belt, and you see like a fully armored guy coming towards you, you put the sword in the scabbard and you take your mace. Absolutely. Like, there is no... It's like, basically, the Murder Stroke is like a less efficient less efficient mace. That's what it is. So there is that. Did you ever talk about Mordau? Yes, I have a video on Mordau, and it's a collaboration with Matt Easton. It's kind of funny, actually. So yeah, if you want to check it out, you just write Metatron Mordau you'll find it on the YouTube thing. So yeah. Will you miss Italian pizza in USA though? Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. I will miss Italian food. I will. I mean, you can find Italian food there, and I can make it anyways. I'm good at making Italian food. I can also make it from scratch. So there's that. I will miss proper Italian pizza. There will be many things I will miss about Italy, but it's not the first time I move out. I lived a couple of years in England. I lived 4 years in Japan, so it's not a new thing for me. I've already experienced living abroad, and I've always enjoyed it. It was always better. It was always more pros than cons, and in this case, again, there is my girl there, so I'm gonna start a family and everything eventually. Has your girlfriend ever been to Italy? No, but she's coming here in October, so you'll see her. We'll make videos together. Okay. Why is it hard to find info about Chinese and Korean armor during the medieval years? It is difficult, and I think it's because it hasn't been studied that much in the West. So you can find stuff, but you need to be able to read Korean or Chinese. So there's that. I suppose there is something though if you really dig. But yeah, it's harder, definitely. The quality of the ingredients aren't the same though. Yeah, I know. But what can you do? You'll make do. You make do, You make do. How can you learn how to think like a Roman? Read as much as you can from Roman writers, I suppose. I think that would help. Let's see. Have you studied American law and laws for the weapons and armor you are maybe bringing? Well, you see, as you probably know, laws concerning weapons change depending on the state. So if I were to go to California, I would imagine owning weapons could be problematic. But Tennessee is like Texas, mate. I mean, I was in Tennessee for 30 days. People, it's like they are frigging armed to their teeth over there. It's the South. No problems with weapons over there. I heard that in Texas, you can frigging walk around with a sharp sword on your belt if you wanted to. That's what Thran told me, and he's from Texas, so I think he should know. Why didn't the knights wear their swords and dagger like Daisho? Well, I don't really see much point. Doesn't really matter. I mean, yeah, you can wear, Daisho, they're one next to the other. The knights, yeah, they did wear the sword, and I suppose that the knife doesn't really matter, I suppose, as long as it's functional, as long as you can reach it. That's all that matters. They are on your belt, they are on your side. There you go. Symmetry says, what ethnicity do you think your ancestry could be mostly made of? I like to imagine you as a kind of Gallic Italian. I don't know, but my surname, Urbani, is Latin in origin, and it was originated in Latium, so Rome. I would imagine I'm very, very Italian, like to the bone, to the DNA, all the way back to ancient Rome, most likely. Also because Urbani comes from urbs, which means city, so basically citizen. You can't get more Roman than that. My surname means citizen in Latin. Imagine that. Or like, yeah, people from the city, from the urbs. Probably you know how most surnames originate from nicknames, right? Like, for example, the famous Italian surname Ferrero, which is also, a big chocolate company, which makes very famous chocolate in Italy. So Ferrero comes from Latin and from Faber Ferrum, which is basically the smith, ironsmith to be specific. So most likely the people whose surname is Ferrero descend from ancestors who were iron workers, iron smelters at the time of the Romans. So imagine that you have like a population and you've got this guy who's smelting iron all the time, possibly for the legions, and then, you meet his son, and it's like, hey, this is, I don't know, Lucius. So Lucius who? Because maybe you know a few Lucius. Oh, Lucius Ferrero because the son of the smith, the son of the iron guy, basically. And my name, most likely, I would imagine that if you call someone citizen, it's either because you wanna, be, either because not everyone is a citizen over there. So it could be someone, it could be a nickname given maybe by foreign people to them, or it could be someone coming from urbs, so a big city, who moved to the countryside, maybe still in Italy somewhere, and so they call them the citizens. Just an opinion. Shrek, will you change your British accent in an American one? I doubt I can, even if I wanted to. Probably the only thing I will learn will be to learn how to do an impression. I would imagine that I would learn how to do that. But the way I speak English is so much deep to the core of how I express myself that I very much doubt it will happen. Dave Channel says, buonasera, ho recentemente scoperto il tuo bellissimo canale. Grazie mille. He said he has recently discovered my beautiful channel, he says, so thank you so much. Drod says, I disagree with the idea that you'd want a mace over a sword. The target areas with a mace are just as limited, and it is not as versatile. Historical sources show swords being preferred. I don't know, because you see, when you say historical sources show swords being preferred, if you mean the fighting treatises, well, they are focused on, if you have a fighting treatise on how to use a sword, of course you will find swords used against plate armor in both murder stroke and half swording. We don't have treatises on mace. Okay, so I don't think we can safely say they preferred the murder stroke. I think the way we should interpret the treaty of the knight using the murder stroke is that's what he has got, or this is a treaty on how to use a sword. Let's explore all possible range of possibilities. I don't read it as this guy is deliberately choosing to use a murder stroke because it's better than a mace. I think Warhammer is number 1 against armor. Mace is number 2. The quillons of a sword. Let me get my sword. 1 second. Okay. So, the quillons of a sword are small. Like, this is really small. It's not easy to hit with this. A mace is larger, flanged or whatnot. A mace is like this, I'm going to say, at least like this. So I think it is harder to hit with this in the murder stroke version, and it's not going to deal as much damage because it's not designed for it. It's not designed for it. Yes, you can use it to half sword, but I was answering the question just only about half swording. So only about murder stroke. So if we do put half swording into the equation, then I'm going to say maybe, but otherwise Warhammer's for the win. At least that's my opinion. If it's not yours, then we'll have to agree to disagree. We've got a donation, 100 CZK. Is that like the Czech money, I think? Thanks so much for your donation. I very much appreciate. So Benny G, can you do history of medieval Italy and the rise do Italian mercenaries, of the Italian mercenaries, I think you mean. Didn't I make a video like that? I remember I made a video about Italian mercenaries. I am sure I did. I'm sure I did. What was it titled? Well, I'll check it out. If I haven't, I will. But I think I did. To be honest, I remember I did. Oh yes, you know when I spoke about Italian mercenaries? It's on the video 4 cases in which a knight would wear a mantle. In that video, I specifically talk about the Italian mercenaries. I do. So if you're interested, you could check it out. It's four reasons or 4 cases in which medieval knights wore mantles. That's what I talked about it. Metatron came ready, all mailed up. Oh yes, 1 hour and 9 minutes in mail. and I feel as fresh as a spring morning. Literally, if you sit, you can wear armor all day long, all day long. So imagine being mounted forces helped a lot with that. Because I mean, I've been wearing this mail for an hour and 10 minutes. I don't even feel it, and it does weigh. I'm gonna say 9 kilograms. This is 9 kilos. Interesting question. It has to do with gladiatorial combat. Hello, says Mike Sheringham. What will you equip if you know you will be facing Secutor? So for those of you who don't remember, Secutor is the gladiator. It's actually my favorite gladiatorial class. In fact, I've got a t-shirt on Teespring on the Secutor gladiatorial class if you're interested. I will put a link in the description after we're done here to the Teespring online shop if you like gladiatorial things. It's the, usually when you think of the gladiators, whether it be the Murmillo or whether it be the Thrax, their helmets look like a little hat, and then they've got the grid here and their faceplate. But the Secutor is different. The Secutor is round and it has two big holes here. And the reason is because the Secutor was the opponent of the Retiarius, and the Retiarius is the guy with the net and the trident. So you don't want a helmet with pointy things that the net can grab or get a hold of, and hence the different development of the Secutor helmet. So if I was fighting a Secutor, of course I wouldn't use a net, because that's exactly what it's designed to fight against. Secutor. It's a difficult one. Maybe something similar to the sort of swords that the Dacians used, the curved ones, so they could try and go behind, sort of bypass the scutum, because the Secutor has got the big scutum. Maybe something like that, and I would carry a scutum myself, definitely. Yeah, that's probably what I would do. Have you ever been to Malta? No, I haven't. Ridiculous, because I live around the corner. It's like 40 minutes by boat. But no, it's just how it is. I mean, I've seen America, I've seen Asia, I've seen Central Europe, and I've never been to Malta. It's ridiculous. Dimitri, your gladiator videos inspired to finally tackle drawing a Murmillo-style gladiator. Very good. So I imagine you're a drawer. So I hope you... Let me have a sip of this. Good. I imagine you draw. That's good. I wish I could. I'm not very good at drawing. What's your opinion on, the Viking new hero on For Honor? I haven't seen it yet, so I still have no idea. I don't even know what he's using, what he's wearing. I don't know anything about it. So I have to postpone, but I will make a video about it, of course. So we'll have to wait for that. Superfly, I beep, love your videos on medieval town cities, judiciary system, etc. Would love more of those. Also, will you be storming Area 51 with your girlfriend? Probably I won't go to Area 51, not particularly interested. But yes, those videos were very fun to make. I remember a video I made, which I was very happy about, was the one about the Sheriff of Nottingham. So actually exploring the real historical figure of the sheriff in Norman England. Didn't get many views, that video, unfortunately, but it's a good one. It's still there. I think I was experimenting with green screen at the time. You remember that? I mean, for those of you who have been following my channel for a while, I've gone through a few stages, haven't I? I mean, I went from the white background to the green screen, to the padded soundproof padding, to this. I think this is the best one, to be honest. I think this is the best background. Yeah. What's your opinion on Dacians? They are Muppets and they should be subdued by the Romans. Come on, I'm even wearing the Roman armor. What did you expect? Let's see. If Rome never fell, how long do you think it would have taken for them to discover huge scientific discoveries like electricity, bacteria, viruses, cause illness, calculus? You know, I was actually talking about this with my cousin the other day. That, you know, I do have a what if series at the moment. It's mostly fantasy. I've made a what if the undead really existed in the Middle Ages, and episode 2, which came out a couple of weeks ago, was what if magic really existed in the Middle Ages. Now, I was considering what if the Roman Empire never fell. So that might happen. That might happen. We'll see. We shall see. Yeah. Let's go to Area 51. Yeah, probably no Area 51, love. No Area 51 for me, no. Maybe not. Maybe not. No aliens, thank you. It was the aliens all the way. It was the aliens all around. That's History Channel for you. It was the aliens. It's like, wow, the Romans had an amazing sword. It was the aliens. The Romans conquered Gallia. How did it do it? It was the aliens. That's what it was. The aliens made me do it. That's what Julius Caesar should say. The aliens made me do it. Maybe I swear if we find a document saying the aliens made me do it, written by Julius Caesar, History Channel is going to explode. It's going to explode. Pizza versus pasta. Depends on my mood. Depends on the mood. It's such a difficulty. See, why does life have to be so complicated with such, you know, fundamental existential questions of pizza or pasta? I would starve to death. I would starve to death. I couldn't make my mind. It's like, I'm gonna eat a margherita or am I gonna eat spaghetti? Margherita, spaghetti, dead. Can't choose. They're both too good. What about that time that Terminator saved Jesus? Oh, I remember that video. I watched it. I was like 22. So that's like a million years ago. I laughed my head off. That video was hilarious. That video was hilarious. I watched it with a friend of mine who's like extremely sensitive and extremely religious. And he's like, oh, you shouldn't laugh. And I'm like, I'm not laughing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not really mocking. It's not really insulting. It's just funny. I think Jesus had a sense of humor anyways. I think he would have laughed if he saw that video, to be honest. Just me. Pineapple on pizza. Never, ever, ever. No pineapple on pizza. Therefore, no pineapple on pasta. That goes without saying. No pineapple, no. Pasta, pizza, pasta. Yeah, eat them both. You know, you can take pasta and put it on top of pizza and eating it. Maybe not. That's disgusting, actually. I swear Vercingetorix was strangled by an alien. Yes, an alien. He just traveled millions just to strangle that muppet and then go back. Carbonara versus cacio e pepe. Cacio e pepe is such a good... cacio e pepe. But oh yeah, by the way, Benjamin, you say don't forget bruschetta. It's bruschetta. That's how we pronounce it in Italy. No bruschetta, bruschetta. Repeat after me. Come on, you didn't repeat. Okay, schetta. Bruschetta. That's how we say it. Thank you. Feel much better now. Bruschetta. Bruschetta. Lots of questions, guys. I'm sorry for the questions I'm not answering, but oh, we've got a big question here. Fallout Zone G. Fallout is such a good game, by the way. I've been playing Fallout 4 recently. Don't give no Fallout 76, please, but Fallout 4, absolutely. Are you religious? Big question. Maybe I could make a video about it. Well, actually, if you check out my video, why did I call my channel Metatron? I do give a little bit of a explanation on this. So if you ask me, do I belong to any specific religion? I used to. Now I don't. I mean, I was brought up as a Roman Catholic and I spent 10 years with the Mormons. So yes, I used to be very religious. Now I don't give myself any label. I do believe in the existence of a God. My personal beliefs, though, are very, very, I'm going to say original. So I got my own thing. So yes, I am religious in a way. I just don't like putting a label on top of my beliefs. But maybe I could make a video about it in the future, who knows? Perhaps I will. Perhaps I will. Lots of people are going to think I'm crazy when I do, but hey. Discount Viscount, $5. Thank you, friend. I really appreciate it. The Greco-Roman wrestling techniques have martial applications, like how knights use grappling in armor, or was it just for sport? Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, I think so. Maybe it's a little outdated, but yeah, definitely. I mean, grappling is probably the best thing you can do if you're fighting in a battle context. Well, actually, I'm gonna expand on that. Probably grappling is the best thing you can do anyways. Because I mean, I come from 5 years of karate, so karate. I practice Shotokan and I practice Kyokushinkai, which is the style I practice now. I'm just a green belt, I'm not an expert. But let me tell you, I know for a fact, and I wanted to make a video about this, I know for a fact I can do karate, and I love karate, okay? I can do karate for 20 years, and if I don't do any grappling, if I don't study any grappling, and you've put me in a cage fight with an MMA fighter, I'm dead. So it's important, guys, to be realistic and to be honest. Because people sometimes, they just, they choose a martial art because they like it, and I chose Kyokushin Karate because I like it. They choose a martial art because they like it, but then it becomes a frigging cult. It becomes a religion, it becomes magic, and you win because if I do this, if I do that, blah, blah, blah. I'm just gonna be honest. If I step in a ring with an experienced grappler, I am dead. So I believe stand-up martial arts, yes, they are important, but they need to be supplemented with grappling and ground fighting. Because otherwise, I mean, just check out MMA and see what happens to people who don't know how to grapple. It's just the thing. MMA has rules that's not representative of a street fight. I agree, but and in fact, I'd like to mention Ramsey Dewey. It's a channel that I watch. MMA coach, really cool guy, very legit. And as he says, a street fight and an MMA fight are two different things, and I totally agree. However, let's say that I find myself in a street fight, okay? Could I win? I'm gonna say yes. I could win or I could lose. It depends, because when you're in a street fight, you could end up against someone who is stronger, faster, vicious, and he's destroying you no matter what martial art you practice. Or you could find an idiot who underestimated you. Maybe you've been doing your boxing, you've been doing your whatever you're doing, street fight, and you pound him. A street fight has a huge variety in it. A cage fight instead, when you step into an MMA ring, you're fighting a professional fighter. So I think if you put me in a street fight now, I think I have a higher chance of surviving that than if you put me in a cage MMA fight. That's my opinion. Now, given in a street fight, sometimes there are weapons involved. But if there is a weapon involved, you got to run, unless you have a weapon as well, possibly a better weapon. So it's street fight, it's too big as a term. It's too big as a term. But still, I wouldn't want to be in a street fight with a professional MMA guy unless I had a weapon. Because a weapon is a game changer. A knife is a game changer. Unfortunately, I'm going to say. I'm going to say a knife equals 10 years of professional martial arts. Just my opinion. But it is important, guys, to stay safe. Be safe. If you practice your martial arts, do it. I'm sure you're good. I'm sure you're great. If someone points a knife at you, give him your money. Full stop. Don't think about pride. Don't think about what about all the years I spent in martial arts. No. Never face a knife with bare hands just because in the movies they do it, because you will die. Never do it unless you're trying to protect someone you love, because they're really in danger. If you can go away, go away. If you can give me your money, give me your money. Stay safe. Samurai armor is very useful in cage fight. Oh yeah, absolutely. Give me full armor, I can take them on, mate. Give me full armor and a weapon. Jim Nichols says, yes, I finally caught the Metatron live. Yes, I'm well alive, my friend. Here I am, and I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you for stopping by. Epic Gamer 420 says, play Fallout New Vegas and side with Kaiser Legion. I did try that one, I remember, but it didn't really catch with me. It didn't really, I don't know. But Fallout 4, let me tell you, that game is addictive. That game is addictive. And by the way, if you guys play Fallout 4, or if you've played it, I have a question, because I wonder if it's just me, but I hate the power armor. I just don't use it. It's clunky, it's big, I don't know. I'm just playing the entire game without using the power armor at all. I just keep it there for collection. I mean, it's there because it's there, but I just prefer the game without it, which I think is fine, because at the end of the day, it's a Bethesda game, so you're supposed to play whatever way you want. That's how Bethesda games are. This is why I love Bethesda as a studio, and I'm mad that they did not make Elder Scrolls Online, because they had this, I think, Chinese company make it for them, and I can tell, unfortunately. So SO didn't like it, not much, and it was a little bit of a disappointment. But apart from that, Bethesda, I love Bethesda. I think I own every possible kind of Skyrim, and my favorite is Oblivion, and now this will halve the amount of people watching, because you're gonna be mad at me. But I love Oblivion. When was the last time you played SO? I'm gonna say 2 years ago, mate. 2 years ago, I think. Maybe a year and a half. A long time ago, I just stopped. It wasn't my thing. Let me see if I've missed any donation, as I excel at doing, and I excel at missing. Yes, Last Samurai review, $2 from Patrick. Sorry for taking forever to answer your question. Sometimes, like when you ask me a question, if it's the 15th century, by the time I answer it's the 17th, and you're already using gunpowder. So, Last Samurai, yes, I wanted to make a Last Samurai movie review. The only reason why I didn't is because movie reviews are problematic, because if you show pieces of the movie, or if any sound from the movie is in your video, it will get demonetized. There is a way to go around that, and it's by just filming your direct TV behind you. This is what Matt Easton does, but you know, the quality is not very good. So it kind of, I don't know, the last movie review I made was about The Outlaw King. I made 1 or 2 videos about that, maybe 2. Yeah, one about armor and one about weapons, I think. But apart from that, I have stopped because my movie review of the film The Eagle was demonetized. But I could try again with The Last Samurai, maybe just using stop scenes, just screenshots. It worked with The Outlaw King. They didn't demonetize that one because I used screenshots. Although it's not as fun, obviously, to watch for you. But this is how it is. You know how problematic copyright can be on YouTube, which is a shame, but it's just how it is, I suppose. Oh, we've got a question. Final Fantasy Dragoon or real life Dragoon? Which do you like better? Final Fantasy. I love Final Fantasy, mate. The Dragoon actually is my favorite class in Final Fantasy Tactics, and is my favorite class in Final Fantasy 14. So you got it perfect, mate. I just love it. The Dragoons are so cool. The fact that you're good, they use the Lancers as well. Sometimes they're called. You know, they jump and then boom, it's so epic. I love them. Yes, movie studios seem to hate getting free advertising. Yeah, I don't really. I don't know why. And I remember, like, there was this the YouTube, when there was the whole Article 13 and then a 17 situation, and I remember the YouTube big boss saying, how there is a lot of educational content and it's getting demonetized, blah, blah, blah. And then this woman from, where was she from? I don't remember, but it was someone like talking about how YouTube, we content creators, we steal stuff all the time. You know, it's you can't. It's true that some people take a full movie and they fully re-upload it on YouTube, and that's wrong. Okay, that's piracy. It's wrong. I understand. But freaking, a a movie review is transformative in nature, and as long as you don't spoil it too much, or if you are going to spoil it, you say it, and you just show a few key scenes to, talk about the movie, or maybe a trailer. You could use a trailer to do that. I think it's fine. It's absolutely, there's nothing wrong, and you're not stealing any. I mean, sometimes I do get people telling me like, make your own content and stop stealing stuff. I'm not stealing anything. It's like two friends sitting down talking about a movie. We're not stealing the movie. So at the end of the day, I don't know. I think it's transformative in nature, and I think it's nothing wrong with it. But anyway, some people, not everyone agrees with that. Not everyone agrees with that. Let's see. Greetings, the Metatron. Will you make a video about the Witcher series made by Netflix? Yeah. I made Witcher videos in the past on this channel, so why not? Absolutely. I think Shad already talked a little bit about it, and why not? What would your Roman name be? I actually have a Roman name for my Roman legionary character when I play him in my videos, and his name is Marcus Julius Aquila. So he belongs to the Julia Gens Julia, the Julia family. Marcus Julius Aquila. Yeah. Let's see. Romans versus the Zulus. Yeah, maybe not. Let's see. Yeah, Google. Yeah, I know Google and YouTube is what it is. I mean, again, we content creators, we just have to make do. We make do. That's what we do. Can you make more? Mai Chen says, can you make more videos on ancient China? Really like the Roman versus Han Empire and the Chinese dynasties videos. Yeah, I mean, the Chinese dynasties video, and by the way, a lot of people tell me I say dynasty wrong because I should say dynasty. Dynasty is the American pronunciation and dynasty is the British pronunciation. I like both. There's nothing wrong with either of them. So it's just the way. It's like saying vitamin and vitamins. It's just two different accents. That's all it is. They're both correct. In England, actually, I noticed that most people say privacy instead of privacy. So, it's just an accent. Anyways, the Chinese dynasty video was a video made a long time ago. The Han dynasty versus Roman Empire video instead is quite recent. And the reason why I made that is because I do want to bring ancient Chinese content in the channel once again. So that's exactly why, that's the reason why I did that video. So yes, more to come. More to come. Metatron, what do you do in your free time? I play video games. Hands down. I got free time. It's either I spend it with my girl when I can, or it's video games. And sometimes it's both, because she's a gamer. So there's that. Anyways, Metatron, are there any high budget, accurate to history film that you recommend watching? No. I'm sorry, no. I'll have to make it myself. I wish I was Italian, says Alessandro Jones. Oh well. Maybe you could marry an Italian. How about that? Yeah, you can find a nice Italian girl or guy, whatever you're into, and there you go. Let's see. If you find, so Emmanuel Vanzetti asks, if you find yourself in a real life, that's an interesting one, in a real life battle royale scenario, 2 teams with 50 people each, what formation would you choose? Phalanx, Roman formation? You have to consider training of 39 noobs. Definitely Roman. I would go Roman. Hands down. I would go Roman. Get close and stab. Yeah, I would go Roman with Scuta. I've been training a Contubernium. I've got 8 men here in the Legio 20th. And yeah, it's fun. It's a lot of fun. To learn formation, it's a lot of fun. Particularly when you start seeing things that work. Morrowind for life. Morrowind was fun, but mate, I prefer Oblivion. Can't help it. Although Morrowind, I gotta say, did have these. Morrowind, of all the Elder Scrolls, is the one that has the most original world. I mean, giant fungi, and crazy beasts that look like frigging flying. I don't know, Medusa that you like, jellyfish that you can. But they are also crustaceans, and you can get inside and use those to travel. It's like, Morrowind, it was amazing from that point of view. Everything looked almost alien, and finding new cities in Morrowind was exciting. In Skyrim is of course, huge graphic improvement and whatnot, but when the first time I saw Riverwood, I was like, "Oh, look at the graphics! It's amazing! Look at the ivy on the walls; it looks so realistic." And then I saw Falkreath, and I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, it's the same, you know." So there is that. Yeah, you got the icy cities, Winterfell and Windhelm and everything, whatnot. They look different, and Whiterun is a little bit of a special concept, isn't it? With the dragon and everything, the little going up the stairs, but still, Morrowind, you can't beat it. It's the most original, it's the most rewarding experience when you explore, flying places, and it's incredible. But still, for some reasons, Oblivion is the closest to my heart. It's a great game, and I still play it, and I'm proud of it. There is something about the green hills of Oblivion. It's just fantastic. It's beautiful. And I like that when you go, one thing I like about Oblivion is, yes, it's mostly green and with green and red trees. But if you go north, it's snowy, and if you go to the southwest to Anvil, then you get all the yellow area. So there still is some variation in Oblivion. Some people say it's like it's all green. It's not all green. Maybe they haven't explored it properly. And the southeastern city, which I don't remember what it's called, is this craziest one. It's kind of weird. So yeah, and gosh, it's been a while. Skingrad is the most gothic medieval looking one. So there is, and the Imperial City, of course, it's fantastic with the tower and everything. And did you notice that in the Imperial City, when you go to the Imperial Palace, if you go right, there is a little, if you go straight, there is the door that leads you to the central room where they have like the council and everything. If you go right, I think you can go to a tower and go up. But if you go left and you open and you lockpick the door, you get into this room that has gigantic stuff. It has like a giant chair, there's like giant pieces of furniture, giant everything. And it really, like, when I got there, it really blew my mind. I started imagining, like, what is the Imperials? What are they doing? I don't know. Are they creating a new race of giants? What is this? What, an inherited from whatever. I think it's just a Easter egg. I think they're just teasing with us, but it was cool nonetheless. And I had a similar sensation when I visited St. Peter's in the Vatican for the first time, because that church has got the biggest doors I've ever seen. They really look like they're there to fit giants. It's really cool. $4.99 US dollars from Marlin. Thank you so much for your donation. I appreciate. What types of firearm interest you the most? Also, safe and happy travels on your way to the US. Probably pistols. No, guns. I mean, like handgun, like semi-automatic. That's what I like. That's what I like. I like those because I can carry them, and well, I can't here, but when I move to America, I'm getting a carry permit. Let me tell you that. Have you ever read Harry Potter? No. I watched the movies, but I think you're specifically asking about the books. So no, I never have. At the moment, I'm reading Shad's book, the book published by Shadiversity. I'm enjoying it. I'm reading that, and I'm working on my own book. So I'm working on a novel. It's gonna be interesting. I think it's gonna be cool. So when it's done, I'll let you know. I'll let you know. I'm considering, like, when the book is done, I'm considering maybe putting out a free chapter so that people, before they buy, you can see if you actually like the way I write. Maybe I could even read a whole chapter on the channel here, putting pictures and whatnot. Could be an idea, like a preview. Superfly asks, so it's a reference to 10 years ago actually, will we see more Japanese karaoke rap from you? Yeah, I did that video, didn't I? It was a long time ago. Also a video in the Vatican explaining its history and architecture. Been there before and loved it. I am not really planning to go to the Vatican at the moment, but I will, I think, eventually, because I need to take my girl to Rome, and definitely she will want to see the Vatican, so we might go there together. And once we do that, why not? Let's make a video. I remember when I was a university student, they let me go into the secret archives. I have a video on that. If you write Metatron Vatican Secret Archives, I did go there. I was allowed in, and it was really cool. It was really, really cool. Lots of stuff, like even I actually saw the original, the original copy, because the original was destroyed, but the original copy of the same time of the papal bull sent to Martin Luther to excommunicate him. So I've seen that, it's there. They've got loads of stuff in there. Fill your lorica with slugs for a good time. Absolutely not, but thank you for the £2. I appreciate it. Matteo Bardini, wow, a novel. Are you going to write it also in Italian language? First in English, and then I will do the translation in Italian. Absolutely, absolutely. It will be available in both languages. I will write it in English because, of course, the majority of the novel ones are English-speaking people. But Italian is my first language, so yes. Yeah. So there is that. Is it going to be fantasy or historical based? That's what I'm struggling to decide, and I think I'll make a poll. Because I've been thinking about this for months. I did write a fantasy novel when I was a university student. So I actually already have one, although I wrote it in Italian, so I would have to translate it. It's and I think it's good. I think I mean, it's my own thing, of course I think it's good, but it's a fantasy novel, but it's medieval fantasy. Of course, there is a lot of realistic weapons and armor and combat in it. So I could translate that and publish that one, or I could make a historical novel, which could be set in the Roman era. So like a novel, so an imaginary story, but set into a real historical background, Roman stuff and whatnot, maybe. So I don't know. Very, very difficult to choose. Very, very difficult. We'll have to see. I'll do a poll and I'll let you decide. I'll do that. Question from Christian. Metatron, why so few Italians settled in America's interior? I have no idea. I haven't got the faintest idea, sorry. No idea. A lot of Italians went to the east, like New York and whatnot, and Detroit, and for some reasons. And by the way, I went to Little Italy, as you know, I've got a video about it. I went to Little Italy, New York. It was really fun. I tried the pizza there, and I made a video about it, and I love Manhattan. I know some of you hate New York for some reasons. Me, as a foreigner, from an American point of view, Manhattan, incredible. And when I was in New York, I spent one night in Harlem and one night in Brooklyn, and then I visited Hell's Kitchen and of course Manhattan, and someone just knocked on my door. One moment, please. I have no idea who that is. Maybe it's Calgrim. Probably not. It's my friend. Okay. So it is my friend, my best friend Salvo. So I'm just gonna open the door for him, and he's got a channel, so you probably know him actually. So one moment, it's a little surprise. I didn't know that. So 1 second. There we go, there we go. So, the door has been opened, the gate have been opened, so close shut the jaws of oblivion. Right, let's continue. What have we got here? Let's see. Do people still write Chinese and Japanese from top to bottom, or is it more common to write left to right? It is more common to write left to right, left to right. So they only use top to bottom for traditional writing. If they're writing a very, very, I don't know, important ceremonial letter and they just want to do it that way. Or sometimes, of course, if you see signs on street signs or, well, no, street signs are left to right, but the old style signs, sometimes even in schools, for example, or old shops in Japan, they are written top to bottom. So you can write both ways, but if you ask a Japanese, hey, write down this or jot down this while I teach you, and they write something down, they will write left to right 100% of the times. So the Japanese now write left to right most of the times. So yeah, there is that. But yeah, it is possible to write top to bottom, and they still occasionally do. There are a sizable number of Italians in California. I'd like to visit California, let me tell you that. I do like to visit California. Hello, I'm live actually. I'm streaming.
Oh,
yeah.
Live streaming?
Yeah, I'm live streaming. Oh. Hey, hi, hello, my friends have just come here.
Sensei.
Venite, prego.
Non lo sapevo.
Sì, sono live streaming da 1 ora e 46. So, continuo per un altro quarto d'ora, così faccio due ore. So my friends are here, but you know Salvo, come here. You know Salvo from Better Call Saul.
Hey, how are you guys?
Ciao
What's
Alessandro.
up?
Vieni. Sì, certo. A posto. That's my friend Alessandro, sì.
What's up?
Ti stanno vedendo 205 persone.
Ciao.
So, here we are. Volete fare un po' di PlayStation mentre finisco? Magari un quarto d'ora?
Sì, dai, 10 minuti.
Grande.
Grande. Abbatti.
Magari un secondo solo, che voglio controllare una cosa, perché l'ho lasciato un macello totale là. So, 1 second guys, I'll be right back. No, fammi giusto controllare quella situazione.
Bellissimo.
Guardato che l'avevo sistemato. Prego. Okay, here I am. Sorry for that. So, you're very patient. 207 people. Okay, Seraf, can you speak or understand Portuguese? Nevertheless, I got a message for you. Você é uma persona extraordinaria. Todo o sucesso do mundo para você. Well, I could understand what you said, but I cannot speak Portuguese. But I did understand everything. That's the magic of Romance languages, lads. Thank you for that. He said, you are an extraordinary person. All the success on the world for you. Thank you. Thanks so much. Mongols versus Vikings, that would be nice. Did you enjoy your stay in Bohemia? And what was the best place you visited there? Yes, I did enjoy my time in Czech Republic. And what's the best place? Well, I'll tell you, Prague is the best place, of course. But I was amazed by the dumplings. Guys, people in Czech Republic, they know how to make their dumplings, let me tell you. It's so good, so good. You are supposed to get in full armor when answering the door. Well, yes, but I think, it's okay, my body's protected. So there is that. Silas Silith, donation. Thank you so much. I appreciate your donation, my friend. Have you ever been to the Hagia Sophia, the Eastern Main Christian Cathedral? I don't remember. Maybe. I remember seeing a big church, but maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know. I also went to Liberec. I visited Liberec as well. So Matthias Serbs is in Italian. Buonasera Metatron, una domanda, sei mormone o qualcosa del genere? Sì, solo che non sono più attivo nella chiesa, quindi ormai non mi considero più di tanto niente. So, why are manga pages ordered from right to left? Because the Japanese traditionally write from right to left. Okay, now let me explain this. So the Japanese, they write top to bottom or left to right. However, when they write vertically, it goes right to left. So the columns are organized right to left. And since the manga is read like this, it's done in the traditional way. When they write horizontally, instead they go left to right. Okay, so you never have Japanese script which is written horizontally and read right to left. Never. To consider the right to left situation, you have to keep in mind that it has to be linked from top to bottom. Okay, that's how it works. So manga are written like that because they follow the traditional order in which books have been written in Japan for ages, really. Okay, we have a hey from Riverbank. Hey to you, my friend. It's good to have a river, which in Latin is fluvius. It's a nice word, fluvius. Sounds very nice. Can you wash chainmail in a washing machine? No, because it will. I mean, you can, but should you? That's the real question. Would you want to? It would probably rust away. So if your mail is dirty, I'm gonna say. Well, it depends how dirty it is, really. Because if it's a bit dirty, just take a cloth and get it clean. Maybe, yeah. But if it's like super crazy dirty, like you friggin' put it in mud, then I'm gonna say you can use maybe a hoe or like something to spray water on it, but then you'll have to immediately dry it and apply a coating of oil, because otherwise it will rust, and it will rust quick. Like the Lorica segmentata you see there, it's in good conditions, but literally, I kid you not, if my hands are sweaty, all I need to do to get those plates rusty is put my finger on it. Okay, so I put my finger on it, leave it there for 10 seconds, remove it, and then you just look at the plate, and within 10 minutes you literally see the red patina of rust forming. It's that quick. You can actually see it appear. And I know that by experience. So it's crazy. Your friend Alessandro is the best name in the world. My friend Alessandro is really cool, and he's really fit. He's like super muscular. So I wanted to use him for a video on gladiators. I'll see if I can manage to do that, because I can represent a Roman legionary, because the armor, at the end of the day, you don't really see how much muscle I've got. But I can't be a gladiator. It would be really laughable. I don't have enough muscle to be a gladiator, I can assure you. At least if we want to see, if we consider the iconography about it, because all gladiators in iconography are big guys. So there is that, particularly Murmillo. You speak so fast. Yes, I do. I actually do. I do speak very fast. And I think YouTube turned me into an even more faster paced speaker. Because, the majority of YouTube users are very young. And very young lads don't really have much of an attention span. So we content creators, we gotta keep up with the pace. Because otherwise, if you take your time, it's gonna be problematic for the masses. Usually, like people my age, we actually enjoy it. When someone speaks slowly to go deeply into a concept, and you're like, yes, I'm thinking interesting, but that's not how the new generation, on average, I'm talking, is. I think it's because of all the technological availability. When I was a kid, even when I was a teenager, to be honest, I was playing PlayStation 1, and that thing took forever to load, right? So I'm used to having to wait. You gotta be patient. Now everything is quick. Like the mobile phones, it's like, and when something has like the minute of lag, they're like, the lag is impossible. You should see me with my Sega Genesis. You turn it on and you gotta wait. Even PlayStation 1, it was like, it took forever. Every single time you had to watch the entire thing. Goodness gracious. Okay. Where did you learn Latin? We study it at school in Italy, but we study ecclesiastical Latin. I had to study classical Latin on my own. They don't even tell us that that exists in high school. I mean, if you study Latin at university, they will teach you classical Latin. But if you only study Latin in Italy in high school, all you see is ecclesiastical. And you don't even know that a classical exists, which is stupid, if you ask me. I think we are the only country that does that. And the reason for that is the influence of the Vatican. Hands down, that's the reason. And I've seen, like, whenever I say Caesar, the only people who complain are Italians in the comments. Like everyone else, no problem. Italians, you don't even know it's pronounced Caesar. Well, it's pronounced Caesar in ecclesiastical Latin, but not in classical. And since I'm talking about the ancient Romans, I'm more interested in how they pronounced it. Right? I mean, it makes sense. If you are, in fact, I did have, like, I've seen this, there are videos on ecclesiastical versus classical Latin pronunciation on the web. And I remember this girl who was doing this, she was like mocking Italians, basically. I think she's American. And she was saying, you know, this is not Italian, so you should pronounce it classical, not ecclesiastical. Ecclesiastical is wrong. Ecclesiastical is not wrong. If you are reading a Catholic Church prayer in Latin, ecclesiastical Latin is perfect for that. But if you're reading the ancient Romans, then classical Latin is better for that. You know, if you read, I've seen people reading the Paternoster in classical Latin, and I'm like, no, makes no sense. Just read it in ecclesiastical. So again, it's not that one or the other are wrong. They're both correct, but they are correct within their spectrum. Basically, that's the idea. Let's see. Oh, that's a good one. Benjamin says, if male is dirty, go to the baths, kingdom come lesson. Absolutely, yeah. Kingdom come the living is hilarious from that point of view. Baths everywhere, bathhouses, and you just, you pay and they clean everything. It's really funny. Very, very funny. Where did you get that plate Roman armor? Okay, the Lorica segmentata here was custom made and tailored for my body specifically. It's not an off-the-shelf armor, and it was made by Fabbrica Cacti. So Fabbrica Cacti, let me spell it for you. Fabrica, and then Cacti is spelled Cacti. You can find them on Facebook. They are based in Poland, and they make excellent Lorica segmentata and scuta. Very good, very, very good. They also make the super malis. Just, they are very precise with their measurements. So if I were you, if you're measuring yourself, just give them an extra couple of centimeters just in case. You want your armor to be slightly bigger rather than too tight. But yeah. So there's that. And we've got £2 from David Fordham. Thank you so much, my friend. I very much appreciate your generosity. Hi, Metatron. Where would you live in ancient Rome? I would live in Rome. Or maybe, I wouldn't mind Sicily, actually, where I am now. It was the granary of ancient Rome anyways. Egypt could be also a good idea, maybe after, the Romans went there. Could be also a possibility for me. How is the pizza in Tennessee? Well, I went to Pizza Hut. What can I say? It's Pizza Hut, It's Pizza Hut. Human speech speed is increasing. It definitely is in social networks. Absolutely. Yes. Do you like Rinascimento armor style? Yes. If you mean like Renaissance armor, yes, although, for example, if we talk about heroic armor, some heroic armor is incredible, but some heroic armor is really, really not too much, Some heroic armor is a bit too much. Do you have any Lorica Squamata? I am building a late Imperial Roman kit and want to represent what I think are underrepresented Roman soldiers. I don't own Lorica Squamata because at the moment I think the only ones who can make Lorica Squamata are Indian makers. And I'm not a big, male made by Indians is fine. Segmentata made by Indians, stay away like it was the Black Death. Squamata, usually speaking, looks good. Sometimes it looks too big. I think sometimes they get the measurements wrong. Some other times it looks good. I don't know. If I got one for free from an Indian maker, I would review it. I would wear it and then I would give an honest opinion about it. At the moment, all I know about Indian Roman armor is that segmentata is horrible, mail is good, generally speaking, and squamata, no idea. So I can't really speak for it. Are you still in the United States? No, I'm back in Italy, but I will go back to the States in December and will stay, I think, 35 days in Tennessee. I'll also spend a couple of days in Alabama, I believe. So there is that. I think in the UK, our schools only teach classical Latin. I think anywhere else in the planet they teach classical Latin, to be honest. I think Italy is the only place where they spoon feed ecclesiastical. Which again, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it if they also at least told the students about classical Latin, but no, they don't. They do not. I don't know why. It's just the way it is, unfortunately. Let me see if I missed any special chat, super chat, or something like that. Let me just double check because I don't want to be impolite. I want more Gennaro, says Superfly. Yeah, my friend. Gennaro is in London. He lives in London. So whenever I go to London, I do see Gennaro. Gennaro is really cool. So thank you. I'll tell him you asked for him. He was really cool, yeah. Okay, so we have been here for 2 hours and you've been constant with me and I really appreciate that. I thank you so much for your time and I think it was a very nice and proficuous and fun Q&A session. So I very much thank you for being here. I think now is about time for me to let my voice rest and perhaps play a little bit of Overwatch or play some other games. We'll see. I've been playing Endless Space 2, by the way. So yeah. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it and I appreciate everyone who also donated. I always thank you from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. Sorry, the connection had a problem. Thanks so much for watching and remember, the Metatron has spread his wings. Goodbye.